How's it going, everyone? I hope you had an amazing week last week and weekend and just some time to rest up. And so this week we're going to be looking at 14 fragrances that I've had in my rotation this week that have just really been easy to wear fragrances. They're extremely versatile that are going to be perfect for any situation. So stick around, make yourself comfortable, and let's jump right in. What's going on, everyone? Thank you for joining me. It's Eli with Common Sense, and it is so good to have you here today. But as always, before we start the video, I'd love to hear some of your fragrances that you've been rocking this week. So of course, leave them down in the comments, and I'd love to hear what you've been wearing. So for the first fragrance on this list, and the fragrance that I wore on Monday morning, this one is by Ahmed al-Maghribi, and this one is blue. So it's not the Blue Oud, which is a fantastic, just leather, fruity fragrance. This one is going to be an extremely refreshing, citrusy fragrance, and it smells like a couple different blue fragrances out there. It has that really nice, just effervescent, bright, uplifting citrus that you'd find in something like Versace's Eau Fraiche and maybe something like Bleu de Chanel. So it's almost like a mix between those really bright blue fragrances, but it also has a nice depth to it that makes it smell a little bit more applicable for everyday wear. Yeah, there's just such a beautiful opening in this, and it's so bright and citrusy, and it's just so uplifting, and it's exactly how I wanted to smell for a fresh start to the week on Monday morning when you're going into your meetings. You just want to smell really fresh, energized, and ready for the week. But that one is an absolute steal for about 35 or 40 bucks, and honestly, this is a really good blind grab fragrance. So that one is Blue by Ahmed al-Maghribi. Now, Monday night, I actually went with a new Lattafa fragrance. This one is going to be a nice, just afternoon fragrance. It's for lounging. You know, if you want to just kick back, watch a movie, this is going to be perfect for that. And it's really cool because you can pull it off in the summer, and it is very sweet and a little bit spicy. This one is Lattafa Sutoor. So this fragrance to me reminds me a lot of a peach cobbler for some reason. It's got a nice kind of warm, fuzzy, spicy peach in there, but it's also got a little bit of a sweetness. It's kind of woody, and it's got a really interesting thing going on. So it kind of reminds me of Tom Ford's Bitter Peach, and it also reminds me of, I forget what it was. It was one of the Roja fragrances. I think it might have been Enigma. Can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I'll pop it up on the screen right there. But it kind of smells like a blend between those two, but really I do like what this is doing. It smells very unique. I don't really have any fragrances that quite smell like this one, but again, it's very ambery, it's fruity, and it's just a nice uplifting peach cobbler vibe. So I imagine if you layer this one with one of the other fragrances we're going to talk about, it'll even smell like, you know, a summer peach cobbler with vanilla ice cream on top, and that's going to be a killer layering combo. So for Tuesday morning, I decided to go with an oud fragrance, and you can wear this one in the summer, but maybe just wear it in the office or if you're in the AC, because I imagine if you're walking around outside, it may be a little bit too warm, but it's good nonetheless. And I still got a couple compliments when I wore it. And this one is from Nysos. This one is Le Oud, and it's actually my favorite out of their collection. And so they have some, you know, interesting fragrances in this collection from Nysos, and I want to say you can only get these from Perfumanias and some of the fragrance outlet stores, but the Le Oud is one of my favorites. It's got a beautiful animalistic leather, it's got some agar wood in there, and it's got some really cool floral notes, so it smells a little bit like a rose oud combination, but it is not too overdone, too, you know, cliche. It just smells really, really interesting, and almost just like new car leather. So it's very leather forward and very animalistic, while still smelling, you know, slightly delicate and grounded from the rose and some of the nice, just kind of musky florals in here. And so this is a really good choice if you love leather. And again, I think if you can pull this off maybe in summer evenings or, you know, in the air conditioning, then you're going to be solid. This one was really cool. And that one is Nysos Le Oud. And then in the afternoon, I decided to go with a designer fragrance. It's cheap. You can get this for like 30 bucks or so. And this one is Azzaro's Chrome Aqua. This one is one of my favorites in the Chrome line. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful flanker to the original. This has such a beautiful, almost mineralic twist to the original one. So it kind of smells like driftwood. It's kind of marine-like, and it just smells very woody, and it's got almost like a blue shower gel vibe going on. So it reminds me a little bit of John Varvatos Artisan Blue and something like Tom Ford's Costa Azzurra. So it's going to be very classic. It's going to be aquatic and just real soapy and just very woodsy, and it's got a really, really nice masculine, just office friendly vibe to this one. And you could probably wear this one in, you know, the mornings, but I just wanted something real chill, relaxing after work. And this one definitely hit the spot, especially, you know, when you wash your hair, you're cleaned up, you know, this is gonna put you in that nice, relaxing mood. And so that one is Azzaro's Chrome Aqua. Now the next day, Wednesday, I decided to go with, it is a discontinued fragrance. This one is Yves Saint Laurent's L'Homme Ultime. Now, before I talk about this fragrance, I do want to let you know that you can get a really interesting alternative to this. You can get Rassasi's It's Essential for Men. It's basically like an 80 to 90% similarity. It's a little bit longer lasting and it's way cheaper, but because I had the original stuff, I hadn't worn it in a while, I wanted to wear this one. But you know, if you do want to check this one out and pay the resale value, it still is an amazing fragrance, but if you want a cheap alternative, check out that one. But I did go with L'Homme Ultime because it smells like a really nice, refreshing ginger. You have that cardamom in the original, but there's some geranium, some lemon in here, and it just smells absolutely fantastic. It's a little bit muskier, a little bit more uplifting, and there's almost like a sparkling lemon vibe in this. So it's almost like a lemon or citrus soda combined with that really, really nice L'Homme DNA. I almost said La Nuit de L'Homme. But it's real sweet, it's powdery, aquatic, and it's a beautiful, beautiful flanker to the original. And I'm so sad that YSL got rid of this fragrance. I don't know what the heck they were thinking, but this stuff is just liquid gold and I absolutely love it every time that I wear it. And so for Wednesday, I just wanted to smell really nice in the morning, you know, get stuff done. This stuff is really good. And that one is YSL L'Homme Ultime. Now, in the afternoon, got this package in the mail and I was so hyped. TLTG Fragrances, Ross over there talked about this one, and this one is Prada L'Homme Low. I had been wanting to buy this fragrance for so long. I don't know why I didn't buy it sooner. I actually saw his, I think it was like his soapy powdery fragrance video, and you know, immediately after watching that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna pull the trigger, I'm gonna buy this one, and I'm so glad that I did. This stuff is one of the best smelling soapy fragrances, and Prada is known for doing just that, making really just wonderful, high quality smelling, soapy, powdery fragrances. And this one is my favorite, and I prefer it over the original Prada L'Homme. So this one has that beautiful soapy iris. It's kind of peppery and you have some orris and some kind of rooty, earthy vibes in here, but it just smells very green and it's got a little bit of a sweetness, a little bit more of an aquatic edge to the original Prada L'Homme. But every time that I smell this, it's like, it just blows my mind every time. And I wore this in the super high heat this week, and I've even sampled it in the winter or the fall, and really you can just wear it anytime, but especially in the summer, it smells very sweet, it's aquatic, and it is just a beautiful, classy, soapy men's fragrance that is sure to get you some compliments. And that one is Prada L'Homme Low. So for Thursday, I wanted to continue that kind of theme of soapy fragrances, and this one is John Varvatos Artisan Blue. Now this is one of my favorite flankers to John Varvatos Artisan. It's got a beautiful green vibe in it. It's very aquatic, but it's more of an earthy aquatic. So it's not going to be real sporty. This is more of an Italian kind of just classy style. And so I feel like this has a lot of green herbal earthy notes, and it's also got some chayote. So it's going to be a little bit almost like a green pepper vibe. So not super spicy, but it does have a little bit of just a green vegetal edge to it. And so it just smells really good, kind of soapy, and it's just an amazing just shower gel blue fragrance, and it smells just way more high quality than a lot of stuff out there at this price mark. I want to say you also have some pistachio in here, so it's a little bit nutty and it just has a beautiful, just unique edge to it, and every time that I smell it, I feel like I'm just put at ease, and it just makes me feel like I can do anything in the day. And so, you know, for Thursday, that was a good choice, and that one was John Varvatos Artisan Blue. Now in the afternoon, this one is one of my favorite new fragrance finds. This one is from Lattafa, and this one is Lattafa's Eclaire. So when I first tried this one, I sprayed it on the tester strip, and it was very vanillic, it was very musky, and it was a little bit hard to smell, especially because I think there was like some of the musks in there that was kind of overpowering, and I couldn't really smell the rest of the fragrance. It's almost like it was crowding the airways. It was kind of blocking the signal in my nose, but I sprayed this one on my skin, and I'm telling you, just get this fragrance. It's 30, 40 bucks and you will not be disappointed. This one has such a beautiful, creamy, just almost like a whipped cream vibe. So it's sweet, it's gourmand, and it has a beautiful musk in there. It's got some caramel and some other really interesting notes, but man, does this stuff smell expensive, and it just smells so high quality. And when you wear it on your skin, the heat of it just kind of helps it push a little bit farther, and it really leaves just an intoxicating scent trail around you. And you know, if you're going to be walking by somebody, they're going to smell you trailing for, you know, a long time, many hours after you first spray it. And this stuff is unbelievably relaxing. It's gourmand, it's decadent, and even though it does lean feminine, I still think this is a good vanilla musky fragrance. And if you're not afraid of some sweetness, I think us guys can definitely pull it off because it smells expensive. And that one is Lattafa's Eclaire. So Friday, I decided to go with a really inexpensive fragrance. I want to say you could get it for about 20 or 30 bucks. And this one is Drakkar Intense. Way better than the original Drakkar Noir. That one is just kind of an old school men's fragrance, and it's kind of got a stigma of being, you know, sprayed way too much back in the day. Like every guy just wears it. There's tons of references in media, you know, people wearing it.
Now that you have smelled all of our colognes, what'll it be?
I will take some Drakkar Noir.
I am disgusting, so I will take 2 bottles Drakkar Noir.
Let me quickly grow beard and think about it. I will take Drakkar Noir.
Man, I gotta say the Drakkar Intense smells way more high quality than the price tag. This one's got a really unique herbal vibe going on, so it's almost like a suede leather combo, but it also has some really nice creamy patchouli. You got some lavender, some wormwood, and some coriander that make it smell very masculine. It's a little bit dark, but at the same time, it's kind of green. It's got an aquatic edge to it. It's very herbal and herbaceous, and so it's almost got an aromatherapeutic vibe, especially from the clary sage, the lavender. It's got just a beautiful, delicate, mossy vibe too, so it's a little bit earthy, and it just smells so good. But if you want a nice masculine men's fragrance that smells very relaxing and just a little bit earthy and green, this is a really good upgrade from the original DNA, and that one's Drakkar Intense. So yep, that was for Friday morning. And then Friday afternoon, you know, if you've seen any of my videos, you know how much I love this fragrance and this fragrance house. I went with Barrett Fragrances Cabo Coast. As you can see, I made a little label on the side just to keep track of all the names, but this one is a twist on Virgin Island water from Creed, and it's one of the longest lasting fragrances that I own from this house. It's an Extrait de Parfum, and you can get it for about 40 bucks or like 38 bucks with the Common Sense discount code. So, you know, you could save a little bit of money, but it is an Extrait de Parfum. It lasts an eternity. I want to say, yeah, like when I wore this, I went out with some friends, some family friends for dinner, and it was just pushing hard. And I remember I still smelled it just kind of coming up into my nose, and I know that people around me were smelling it even like 3-4 hours after I had originally sprayed it just a few times. But this one has such a thick juice in this, and it really does just last a long time. It's coconutty, it's creamy, and it smells like it has a nice kind of tropical salty vibe, so almost like just an expensive tropical vacation. You know, you're on a cruise or something. That's exactly what I get out of this one. It's so fruity, it's creamy, and it just smells absolutely unbelievable for this heat, and it's gonna project like crazy. And that one is Barrett Fragrances Cabo Coast. Yesterday I went on a little bit of a walk and a run with some work friends, and I went with this fragrance. This one's Valentino Uomo Aqua, and it is getting a little bit harder to find. You could still find it popping up every now and then from some discounter stores, so definitely sign up for notifications on some of those sites. But this one is one of my favorite, just sporty, sweet fragrances. It's fresh, and it really just scratches a part of my brain that I love. This one's got some mandarin orange in the opening, so it's very citrusy. It's not gonna be like a real bright lemony citrus. It's more of a sweet, juicy orange in the opening. You also get a ton of iris. You get some leather in here, so it's gonna remind you a little bit of the original Valentino Uomo, but it's not gonna be as chocolatey, as sweet as that one. This one is more just orange heavy, and it smells so good with that sage and the leather and the iris and everything, and it just smells so much better. better in my opinion. I really don't have any complaints in terms of performance or longevity, but really good if you want to smell unique. And that one is Valentino Uomo Aqua. And then in the afternoon and the evening, I decided to go with a flanker to a fragrance that I absolutely love. This one is Prada Amber Parfum Intense. And I've talked about Prada Amber so many times in these weekly fragrance rotation videos. I feel like I wear it at least once a week. And so this one was a nice upgrade to that fragrance. I still prefer the original, but if you want a darker, more masculine version, then this one is going to be perfect. It's like they add a ton of leather, they add a ton of benzoin and labdanum. So the labdanum is a little bit more floral, it's a little bit more leathery than the original Amber Parfum. So the original Amber Parfum is a beautiful saffron fragrance. It's got some myrrh in there, so it's gonna smell very soapy, clean, and just like a warm bubble bath. And this basically takes that, it makes it smell a little bit less soapy and instead makes it smell a little bit more labdanum heavy. So if you love labdanum and you like patchouli and some of those darker notes, then I think this is gonna be a good alternative to that. It is a little bit pricey because it is discontinued. I wanna say it's like $100 or so, maybe a little bit more, but this stuff is really, really good. And that one is Prada's Amber Parfum Intense. This next fragrance is from the house of Franck Boclet. It's a niche fragrance house, and this one is Woodstock. And I had just a really nice, relaxing morning in, and this is a perfect fragrance for that. It's very sweet, it's floral, it's almost got like a honey sweetness. You have some osmanthus, so it's gonna be kind of peachy. It's gonna also have some really nice dried fruits in the opening, and it just smells like a nice syrupy, spicy, just fruity fragrance, and it is so, so good. Supposedly there's also some cannabis note in here. I don't really pick that up too much. It's maybe a little bit smoky, but I don't get that Kush vibe. But no, this stuff smells really, really high quality. It's very sweet. It's almost a little bit feminine leaning, but I think if you like those really nice syrupy, sweet fragrances without smelling too, headache inducing, I think this is a really good option. And it does smell a little bit creamy, a little bit lactonic, and it's just a really good fruity, creamy fragrance. And so that one is Woodstock. And then in the afternoon, one of my newest favorite niche fragrance finds. I did a whole review. You can check it out up here in I just absolutely love this one. This one is Initio's Oud for Greatness Neo. But this one, if you have a little bit of coin laying around, you wanna spend some money on a really, really nice smelling fragrance, you wanna get into the world of niche, then check this one out because it just smells absolutely mind-blowing. It takes the original kind of spiciness of the original Oud for Greatness. You have some of that agar wood, you have some of those beautiful spices, but I feel like this adds a little bit more of a creamy, musky edge to it. So it's going to smooth out some of those edges. It's going to be really warm, but it also has a nice kind of vanillic powdery vibe. You have some bergamot in there, and it really just does smell like a mouth-watering powdery donut twist to that original Oud for Greatness DNA. And it's perfect for evening wear, or if you're going to be going out with friends. It's strong, it projects like crazy, but it is not too headache inducing. And it's basically a version of Oud for Greatness that you can wear anytime. And so it's a really good flanker to that one. And I would actually recommend it over that one. And so that one is Initio's Oud for Greatness Neo. So there we go, 14 fragrances that are super versatile. You can wear them pretty much anytime, but let me know down below if you have any recommendations for just really good anytime fragrances. You can pick them up for going to the store, for going to the office, just let me know down below. Thank you all again for joining me. I really enjoyed making this video, and I really just enjoyed talking about fragrances with you guys, and I've been seeing some of the really cool comments that you've been leaving on some of my videos, and I really do just read them all, and I do take them to my heart. And so I really appreciate you guys just with all the nice feedback and all the things that you've been saying, and it really does just keep me going. But yeah, I just wanted to thank you guys. So thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. I'm Eli with Common Sense. Until the next time, bye-bye.
Well, stop! Whoa! That's my Drakkar Noir.
No, this is Rite Aid Night Sweat.
No, it is a perfect smell-alike. I'm not paying for the label. Right here, give it.
Well, it's empty.
No, it's not. There's some in the straw. There, now you may throw it out.